Aaron.
Hey,
We should a few more minutes.
sure. So do we get a list of people who are going to join? Some entry.
I think you have already you have accepted my Fathom, right?
Oh yeah, I mean the other invitees. Like, do we have any kind of interest submission or like who all are going to join?
I mean, I believe Davey is going to join. I'm not sure how many people are joining today's session.
Okay.
It should be visible in community, I guess, but I'm not
Oh,
sure.
okay.
At least for admins,
Okay.
I guess. So we'll see. Let's just wait a few moments.
Sure.
How's everything going with your kids?
Yeah, all good so far.
Tiring? All good?
Yeah. Uh, oh, I can't see the invitees list here.
I can't see.
Oh, 4 attendees. I see.
Okay.
Okay. There's a place we can see. Roman, Christian, Gavin, and Johnny.
Hmm. Okay. We should wait at
Yeah.
least 3 minutes.
Sure.
Hello, Christian.
Hello.
We're going to wait a few minutes more, then we can start. Hello, Davey. That's okay. Let's wait a minute, then we can start, I guess. Davey, by the way, the recent bug made your day, I guess, this time. Yeah, our engineer is already working on that. Thank you. I think we can start. Then we can accept whoever joins our session. So welcome
Yeah.
to the Draftbit office hour again. As we gather here today on the cusp of the new year, this is a moment to, I think, acknowledge the incredible work that our users accomplished, right, Arvin, using Draftbit. And throughout the year, of course, we should acknowledge also the challenges that we have navigated as well together with our users, and the community we have strengthened, I guess. So I just wanted to take this moment to thank both our users, our community, and our team. Thank you, Arvind. And I want to thank all of the experts, engineers, every member. Hi, Gavin, of our team. And yeah, let's keep up the good work. And yeah, now let's dive into today's session with the same energy.
Hey,
Welcome, Arvind. How are you?
I'm good, Ramesh sir. Thank you for having me here. Hello, all. So today we are going to cover a few topics. Like first of all, we are going to talk about dynamic styling. So dynamic styling is basically in Draftbit you can use the styling of a component to be reused in multiple instances of same component. For example, if you want to do some styling around a text component, you can add some styling there. You can save that styling, and then you can implement the same styling to other text components in other streams wherever you want to. And if you want to make some changes in the styling, then you can make a global change that will refer to all the other instances of the components. So let's discuss that by using an example. Let's use a sample, create a sample app. Uh, just allow me a minute. I'm sharing my screen.
And during our session, please feel free to ask your question.
Yeah.
Just raise your hand and ask by yourself.
Let me know if my screen is visible to all.
Yes, it is visible.
Thank you. Let's create a new app. Okay, so rather creating a new screen and adding some components, let's use some screens from our templates library. Let's add a login screen.
By the way, these templates are mostly created by Arvind, right, Arvind?
Yeah.
Shout out to Arvind there.
You. Let's add one more screen. Let's say sign up. Okay, so we have two screens added in this sample app. And for example, let's try doing some styling around these action buttons. So we have two action buttons in login screen and one on sign up screen. And let's try to control the border radius of the button using dynamical styling. So we can do it using two ways. First is using style sheet. So that's very straightforward. You can just go to the button and add any styling. For example, you can change the font sizes, a font family, background color, etc. And you can simply give the style a name. For example, say action button. So I've increased the size, and let me try changing the background color as well. And whenever you are making any change, if you want to add that change to global style sheet, so you can just make the change and click on this button, which will add this style to the global style sheet which we created. And if we want to apply this same styling to other buttons in different screen, we just have to go to the button, select that, and from here we can select that style component. So it will automatically apply all the styling. So that's the one way. And a second is, and also you can update this styling from here. You can access all the style sheet which you created throughout the app. It will tell you the component name and different styling you have created. For example, we have just created one style sheet, and that is for button components. So that's why it's showing like this. If I have multiple styles for buttons, we will see all those style sheet here, and we can use them as per our requirement in the app. So for now, let's just delete it. Then let's try it using global variables. And now I'm going to control this border radius using a global variable. I'll create a variable, say button border radius. And I want to give any value. For example, let's say 4. Close. I'm going to select the login button. Here we have given a static value 24. So for example, if I want to change all the border radius throughout the app, I'll have to go to each screen, select each component, and make this static change. Instead, we can just delete it. We can select this radius, and here we see option dynamic value. If we'll click here, we'll get the global variable instance which we just created here. We just have to select it. That's very straightforward, and we see the style is already applied here. Let's add the same style to other two buttons as well. Okay, and say for example, I've created my app, and now I decide that my button should not look like this. They should be more rounded from the edges. So I just have to go to the app variable, and I can simply change the value. For example, let's make it 100 and save it. So all the buttons where we have this global variable used will be making this change. We can see the border radius are now rounded. So this is just a use case. There are few apps in which, hey, yeah, you have some question? Please go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just wondering, so in the global variable, you just named that button border radius,
That's correct.
and then you set the actual radius to 4 and then to 100. So
Yeah.
so you have to name it in a very specific way in order for certain.
No, you can give any name to your variables. So
So
I've
how
just
does
used.
that know? Oh, but okay. So then the value of, all right, the value is then applied once you go into go to the radius button and change it to the global variable.
That's
Right?
correct. Yeah.
Got it
Yeah.
now. Thank you.
And for example, yeah, Christian,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I have a question to the style sheets then. They also get created when you save components and reuse them, right? So automatically. I noticed that sometimes when I then adapt changes to it in components where this style sheet was used, the original sometimes look different, and I cannot bring them to the same value. This is something which is a problem I use or caused, or is that something special I have to consider when setting this up?
Okay, so yeah, if you are using a style sheet over a component and you have made some changes over the top of the style sheet, then it will it will highlight that in this orange color, and you can just click on that to reset it to use the original styling from the style sheet.
Okay.
Let's do a quick check on that. For example, let's check on this. Okay, so this is screen heading. So this is a screen heading, and for example, I want to apply the same style sheet on this screen header on the login screen. I just have to go here and select it, and after that, if you add any more styling, and now you want to go back to the original style sheet value, you just have to click on this and click on reset to screen heading style sheet, and you will get the original style followed up from the style sheet which you have selected.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, I think I have a bug, but I think this is more like a bug problem because I used the style sheet and it worked wherever for the other components, but for the original one, it looked different. I don't know. It's also, for example, if you have in a web view, the distance to the top of the screen, because I don't know, an iPhone or something like this, sometimes it's very different. So I normally put a margin on top, but when I use the style sheet, it worked everywhere besides the original one where I created the component from. So I was wondering if this is treated differently, but maybe this is just something, a bug on my side.
Yeah, we might need to take a look to understand that problem in detail.
Yeah.
So we just saw this using the styling, dynamic styling on the button using global variables, and similarly we can control the colors, the background colors, or any component colors using the global variables. Let's try using app screen background colors. And let's take any hex. So I can control my screen background color based on the dynamic app variable, global app variable. So again, similarly, I have to just select the screen and I'll click on the color, and then I just need to select my variable. And similarly, I can apply this to all screen where I want to apply this. Let's do a hard refresh. Sometimes it takes time to reflect, or maybe we need to do a screen refresh. Yeah. So the use case is, for example, if you want to color the app theme or the background colors or any other properties using some API response or from backend, so you can retrieve the response from any endpoint, and you can save that value, be it for any screen BG color, background color, or any other property. You can just override these values and that will apply to all of the screen components where we have used this dynamic styling. Yes, Richard.
Would you recommend to use that if you want to do a dark mode?
Yeah, you can use that. So basically from backend, you can send the mode value, or maybe you can control that using the front end. So that might be helpful here.
Yes, but currently the dark mode, it's you would need to do that with variables in the different components and then switch between them based on dark mode on and off, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
You can control the background colors and these colors using this global variables. Yeah, that's correct. And you can override the value of these variables using any endpoint response.
We have a question from Davey Arvind.
Mhm.
Can I change a CTA color based on a screen Boolean variable? Active, inactive, for example.
Yes, we can do that. So what's the use case? Can you help me elaborate a little bit more?
I think we can show it on a button as well, right? Davey, if you want us to demonstrate a little more specific thing, just let us know.
So basically, I think if you want to show a disable and enable states, so you need to have a global variable or screen variable. Yeah, I guess I sent a request and want the CTA to be active and inactive example. Okay, so basically in that case, I think you have to have two CTAs with different states, and you can show them based on that variable of the value of the global variable or screen variable. For example, if you have a variable show login button or show a login enabled, and the value is true or false, and based on that you can display the enabled version and disabled version of the login button.
Can we demo it?
Yeah, sure. Okay, do you want me to do that, Devi? I think you can do it using dynamic styling as well. Let me just quickly check. Oh yeah, so we can do it using dynamic styling as well. Let's just try that. So we have a screen variable.
David says it's okay, but I think we should show it for our other users
Right out.
who are going to watch this on YouTube.
Okay, so this is disabled using that uh, screen variable, and if we go and change the value of the screen variable as false, it is enabled back. So yeah, we can control the state of the button using global variables.
Yes, Raman.
Hello. Yeah, so since we're on the button topic, can I do some animation on the button when the user clicks on it, or do I have to do like a custom function that runs on click to do that stuff?
Sorry, can you please come again?
Yeah, like if when a user clicks on a button, can I do like some animation, like the button changes color or like, gets a shadow or something, or do I have to like write a custom function that runs on click? And also, I don't think there is a on focus trigger for a button. Like if I hover over a button, like
Mhm.
that does something as well.
Yeah, so the hover thing is not there in the app. Like you can just click or touch that button. So, but there are just few effects which you can control using Builder. For example, if you want to give an effect of press action, we can go and add some active opacity. So let's try giving a 0.3 opacity, and you can see now we can see the pressing effect, click effect on this button. And if you want this effect to be a little less, you can increase the opacity to say 8.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
And yeah, also you can show some loading state. So we have a property is loading, so you can control it using some variable. For example, if you can create a variable is loading, let's just try that quickly. So this value you can control on click action. For example, if you have clicked a login button, then you can set this variable value is loading equal to true, and make some API calls and some request. And once all the operations and transactions are over, you can reset this is loading value to false, so that it will show as processing till your operations and actions are going on. So that's another
That's
effect.
perfect. Got it. Thank you.
And beside that, we can also use the font family, control the font families using global variables. So it's very similar. You can create any variable, say screen headers font, and we can take the name of fonts. Just allow me a minute. So for example, you can take any font from here, and we can take the font name from stream code. For example, we want to use this font family for all the screen headers, so we can just set the value of the variable. And all the places you want to apply this font, you can simply click on the font and select your variable which we have declared. And all the screens, wherever you want to use, just go and select that variable value and font dynamic styling. Yep. And
Also, I think we can use some transform functions, or we can define our own custom functions to
yes,
set some dynamic styling, right?
yeah. So for example, we want to change this font size based on different device screen sizes. So we can create a function for that. Let's try. Dynamic header font size. And we can check the device family using dimensions. So we have some breakpoints defined. Okay, let's check this whether this is on. So we are going to check if the device family is bigger than the phone. We can check breakpoints for that. So if the device is tablet or greater screen size device, so we will use say font size as 70, and if this is a smartphone only or the phone, we will use say 30. And I'm going to use this function on a text component for now, which is screen header. So I'll just click on font size and we'll call my function here. And if I change this device, we see the font size is increased for this header where we have called this function, but all the other text components font size is same as we were seeing in the phone stream. So that's how we can use these functions to control the styling over different device sizes. And the breakpoint values we can get from so yeah, these are 4 breakpoints which we have defined: tablet or larger, laptop or larger, desktop or larger, and big screen or larger. So these are different breakpoints which we see here. And if we set any value for tablet and higher, so it will apply for all the higher screen sizes devices unless we set some styling explicitly for that particular device family. So yeah, that's how we can use the dynamic styling with transform functions as well.
So my question is, I haven't tried it before, so I'm just curious. So in this style section, we have, for example, decoration line section. Are those also available as a prop that we can apply dynamic styling as well using custom code? I mean, I'm not sure how to define them in custom function. For example,
Do
font size
you
or
mean
color. Okay, but how to, for example, how to define the line in the decoration typography, under typography. We have decoration.
sorry, Miss, I didn't get that. Can you please come again?
In style sheet we have typography section, and under that we have font size and color, but also we have decoration part. Is this part available? I mean, how to, if it is available for dynamic styling,
Yes.
how to define it in the custom code? Do you know that? I mean, have you ever used that before? I'm not sure, but
Yeah, so way around will be, so you can set any value here and you can go to the code and see that value, and we can copy that value in our transfer function and use that for multiple places. So for
you have
example,
that smart. I mean,
I'm using this line through, and I'll just go and check this line transfer function. Yeah, so this is the value, text decoration line.
wow, that's great. I haven't thought of that before. So we just basically use that in a custom function then. This is
Yeah,
how we should define.
yeah, you might not remember the name of all the properties, so this is a quick way around. If you want to use breakpoints or any other value, you just set it from here for a component and go to the view source, and you can take the value of the key and the value from there and use it in our function.
Great, thank you. I think Davey had a question about it before, as
Yeah.
far as I remembered. This should answer his question as well.
I think
I don't
yeah,
know if he remembers that question though.
Oh, that's for the CT, I guess. So that was the last question from Devi.
No, I mean in intercom he was asking about it, I guess. But David has another question. How can I create a word that's cross off based on a variable?
So do you want to use this transform line through based on a variable value? Is that correct, Devi?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, it's simple again. So basically, we need to create a function, and let's use a string variable for that. Say cross text and some value, say false, and we can simply read the value of a variable which was hey, I don't remember. Let me just quickly copy that from here. Cross text. Yeah. So we can read the value of this variable here, and we can apply all the transform whatever we want to use for different components. So we can take the value of the parameters and their corresponding optional value from the view source, and we can apply it from here, and we can return the same values from here, whatever we want to use. Does that answer your questions, Devi? Great. So that was the dynamic styling using the global variables and style sheets. If we have any more questions, we can take up. Otherwise, we can move to the next section, which was uh, Xano, the backend Xano for using login and sign up functionalities. So we can quickly cover that as well.
Yeah, do you have any questions, guys? Just let us
I
know.
have a question to dynamic styling of
Yeah.
images. There are different possibilities, right? You have those ratios, and you have the based on the pixel or percentage of the screen size. Could you, I don't know, go a little bit through those again? Because I don't know, images seem a bit more complicated to have it in the right ratios than others.
Okay, sure. Let's add an image component here. Okay, we have an image component added. What do we want to achieve here? Christian, can you please guide?
Yeah, so can you somehow take the original values from the image, like the sizes automatically, or you'd always have to, I don't know, look it up, or how's your, because you have to always put a pixel amount, I guess, or a percentage of the screen size.
Yeah, that's correct. So basically we generally in Draftbit we don't have option to set the get the values of image, but generally how we do it, we get the values from the backend for image assets, that this is the width or this is the image. So we can use those to uh, apply to the wrapper or the container. For example, this is the view. We use it to the view container, and that controls the width and the
Also,
image of.
you would get it from the API call then, and then use the size values to put it
Yeah,
in the dynamic
yeah,
format. Okay.
that's correct. Another way is you can try with some custom functions, but in the builder we don't have option to get the dimensions of the image directly.
David has a question, Arvind. Can you
Okay,
explain when and how to use that index and
yeah,
flex?
sure. So Z index is used to define that which view or which component should be top or in the bottom in the hierarchy. For example, if let's try using some views. For example, this is a view, and let me add few more views here. Let's give them different background so that we can identify those. So I have added this container view, and I have added 3 more views under that and named them as view 1, view 2, and view 3. And how we use flex is we can see this main container background I have set to this medium, which is grayish shade, and this is the complete area of that container. And I want to use the flex to determine that which view should take how much space. For example, if I want this view to take the complete remaining space after the first and second view has taken their needed space, which is the 100 pixel, 100 point for both. So I'll just go and use the flex 1 with this view, and it will take all the remaining space for the master container, the main container view. So that's how we use the flexes. And this is generally used when you are creating some screen designs where we want to for example, in list view, you are showing some image of a user or some item, and use the rest of the part of that view to uh, add some description about that item or that person. So we can use the flex method over there. So this is about flex, and flex also you can control using values. For example, I've given 1. That means that it will take all the value which is remaining under the master container. And if you give this 0.5, that means it will take half of the remaining value of the master container. So after these, there was say 500 points pixel value or space left, and we have added 0.5 flex. Then it will take the remaining of the 50% of the remaining space, which is 250 pixels. Does that clarify about your question about flex, Devi? And we can move to the Z index. Okay, thank you. Then Z index we used to define the. Just allow me a minute. Sorry about that.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah. Next is the Z index. So we used to define like which view should be on top or under in the bottom in the hierarchy. So for example, if I want to use this second view on topmost hierarchy, so I will give a z index with a higher value to this, and let's we want to able to see the effect directly, so let's use this position as absolute position, so it will take the complete space under the main container. So I am giving it as absolute value 0 to this view, and will remove the width and height, so it should take the complete width and height. Okay, then for this I'll just give it 100 from top, and then it should take all the remaining value. For this I will give 200 from top. Now we see the third view is not visible because I've given view 2 as z index 5. So that means it is coming top in the hierarchy. If I'll just delete this value, it will show as they have added. So it's showing me the third view on the top because this is in the last in the hierarchy. So that should show top on the the hierarchy. And now if I want to show the first view on the top, I'll just add z index, any z index which is above 0, because default z index for all the components is 0. And now it's showing on top. And now if I again want that my third view should be showing on top of this, I need to give a z index to this view which is higher than 3. So this is generally used when we want to show some popover views or some models, the custom models over our existing screens. For example, I'm clicking on any image and I want to show a light box or the zoomed in image on top of the existing view. So I'll create a view. I can give a z index to that view, and when I click on something, it will come on the top of the existing screen. So that's just a use case, but yeah, we can use the z index as per our requirements in the app. Does that clarify, Debbie?
Yes, I think so. That's pretty clear. Thank you, Arvind. And I think we have 15 minutes left. How about going through the community question, if you're okay with it, Arvind?
Yeah, sure.
I will send you the link of the question.
Mhm.
And actually here in the chat.
Okay.
Just a minute. There you go.
Thanks, Lumisha. Taking a look. Date picker question. I have two date picker components where the second one will only be displayed upon toggle on checkbox value. Okay.
Your screen is visible, but we're not seeing the question, community question. Are you
Sorry. Yeah.
displaying it in second screen?
Yeah, I think so. It's just sharing my one tab. Okay. Is that visible now?
Not yet. Yes, it is.
Okay. So we need to display the second date picker based on the value of this checkbox. Okay, that seems straightforward. My issue is, even though the toggle is off, the until date sends the default current date to my Xano database, Is it possible to have the second date picker's value be nulled if toggle is off? Okay, I think we have got some answers here from Devi. When your toggle is switched off, you have the option to configure a variable when used and the second date picker by assigning it empty such as this and implement conditional display to ensure it's active. It's only active when your toggle variable holds a false value. That's correct. Within your toggle component action stack, you'll incorporate two actions. First, set the variable to a new value for your toggle button, then proceed the set data variable value for your second date picker. That's correct. Okay. Thanks for the reply. I still could not do it though after setting my second date picker value to empty under or check trigger of my checkbox. It wouldn't work as is. I have to toggle it on first, then off for the date to be nulled. How about employing conditional display? That way you won't push. Okay, I got it. So okay, let's try this quickly. Okay, I think you still can't see my screen again. The app stream.
Yes, we're
Yeah.
seeing
Let me share my
questions.
screen here. For some reason, it's not letting me stop my currently shared screen. But okay, let me try open my app in the same tab. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, so let's add two components. Two date picker components. Okay, and now we want to send empty value based on some check mark. Okay, so let's use a switch instead. That would be quick. Okay, switch value. Let's give any default value to switch, and this second date picker is displayed based on the value of the switch. So let's add this conditional display here. So right now the switch value is false. That's why the second date picker is not showing up. And if we turn it on, it will show the second date picker. But that was not the original query. So now we add one action button. So on this action button, we can have two different endpoints added here, and that will be triggered conditionally, as I guess Devi has also suggested. And here we can add the condition based on which this endpoint will be called. In first endpoint, we can send the value of the second date picker as the original value, which is the date picker 2 value. Since we don't have endpoint, I'll just quickly explain it. So we will have the parameters here. and we will select the parameter value as date picker 2 value, and we'll add condition here if switch value is true. That means our second date picker is being displayed, and we want to use the value of that date picker. In that case, this endpoint will be called. And similarly, we can add one more endpoint call, API request call, and that will be called if our switch value is false. In that case, I will just simply pass the parameter value as empty string, or we can assign empty value to a variable and use that string variable to be passed for this second endpoint call. Does that?
That's pretty straightforward. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep. I guess Devi has already explained this in his comments, but yeah, that's how we do it.
Thank you. Yes, do you guys have any questions? It doesn't have to specific to, you know, dynamic styling or any other issues that we have covered now here. So feel free to ask your questions as we have Arvind with us. I think we're good. And do you have anything to add further, Arvind?
I guess we are about time, so there will be not a sufficient time to take up the Xano part, but yeah, we can cover that in next session.
Yes, sure, we can do it in the next session.
Yeah.
So let's wrap up then. As we draw our office hours session to a close, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Arvind and each one of you for your active participation and, of course, insightful contributions. And please remember, the conversation doesn't end here. We encourage you to keep the dialogue going on our community as well, and also in the support channels in Intercom. Any unanswered questions or new topics that emerge are always welcome. And yeah, New Year is coming, and new features are coming in Draftbit as well. Soon we are going to introduce them. And also I want to mention one thing regarding our year-end sales. We are planning to launch year-end sales we're going to post the details. So keep your eyes on your email box, and in community as well if you're interested. Yes, thank you again. Thank you, Arvind.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Happy New Year to all of you.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
See you in the next session. See ya. Bye.
Bye bye.